Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the latest and greatest episode of Game Rivals. I'm one of your hosts, Maximilian X, and with me, as always, is the PlayStation Master, the one who's going to be exploring the Forbidden West. It's Sean Templar. How's it going, Sean?
I'm good. I've caught a little bit of a cold, but besides that, I'm good. How are you?
Well, at least it's just a cold and not the other thing.
Yeah, I had to get tested, and luckily it was negative. So,
Yeah.
how are you? You okay?
I'm good. I'm just over a really heavy work week. So I got a few days off from that and then back to work. But other than that, I'm good. How are you? Wait,
You already asked.
did that?
Yeah.
I already asked. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, sorry. I got like a lot of sleep, so I was extremely tired. So I got a lot of sleep.
Nice.
But, yeah, it's all good. Unfortunately, did not get to stream a lot this past week, but I'm making up for it this week as you're listening to this as it's going live. So
Nice.
look forward to that. But yeah, speaking of looking forward to things, let's jump straight into the news because we got some interesting wing dingers that we found that we were like, okay, let's retread some old tires. I didn't put it in the chat, but I did want to bring this up first since it's one of our old punching bags.
Oh god.
And if I feel like if we didn't bring it up, people might actually bring it up themselves. Like, why are you not talking about this? And that is our old friend Stadia.
Happy days.
Yeah. So Stadia is like, okay, first of all, if you know what Stadia is, congratulations. You're the percent of the percent of the percent that actually still knows or even remotely cares about what Stadia is. And if you don't know what Stadia is, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But we will educate you really briefly. So Google Stadia is Google's attempt at a cloud gaming service, which was very shady from the get go.
No, I wouldn't
Because of
say
the
that.
not because of the way the service is structured,
The
not the
very
technology.
the
The
very first
technology
announcement
itself
was
is
different.
its peak.
Yeah.
Like the technology itself is like it actually works as advertised. Like as soon as you click on a game, you're right in there. There's like no virtually no lag. I'm not gonna say there isn't any lag. There's virtually no lag. There's virtually no stutter. Of course, this depends on your internet capabilities and whatnot. But if you're using like a wired connection, you're like solid, right?
Yeah.
You got to try it. I got to try it back when it launched. It was interesting. The only few problems that it had is, well, for one, unlike something like say GeForce Now, where you can tap into your existing library, with this you can't tap into the existing library. You have to buy the games at full retail price.
I feel that's okay
So,
compared to like they offered because GeForce Now doesn't do that. GeForce Now doesn't offer 4K, 120 FPS, for example, and Stadia's that was the promise of Stadia,
well, when it
4K,
started, it
120
didn't.
HDR. Was it not in some regions alone?
No. Like at the beginning, you only had 1080p RTX with GeForce Now.
And
Now
now
you have 4K. No, you could get like 4K depending on if you had
you need to have the Shield
if you had
box.
an if you had a Shield box, you did get 4K. But with the new plan that they added, you can get 4K now also on PC through the browser or
You
no, not
sure?
through
I
the
thought it
browser.
was 2560p on the
Pretty sure it's
PC.
4K. I think the new plan does do 4K.
No,
Well,
the
I'll
new
look it
plan
up
does
while we
4K
talk
on the
about it.
Steam, but on the Steam box, the Shield box.
No, the 4K was already there on the Shield on the Nvidia Shield,
You sure? Because I
but
thought that they
only
added
yeah
it to
yeah.
the new one.
No, the new one. Hang on. You know what? Let me look it up real quickly.
For as far as I know,
Uh,
it's 2560p in the browser, but up to 120 FPS. And if you have your Shield TV or whatever it's called, you can get 4K.
yeah. So the RTX 3080. Okay, yeah. So on PCs, it is 1440p, but 120 frames per second.
Yeah.
and 4K on the Shield TV. But you were already able to get 4K on the Shield TV before. They just don't advertise it as such.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's super weird. But yeah, so it does do that now. So that's very sweet. But yes,
Oh, okay, my bad.
um,
I don't know why it
but
does that.
yes, they did offer 4K on Stadia, but not 120. I think they said 4K up to 60,
Yeah,
not at 60. So no locks were promised.
it still looked horrible.
Also, the 4K was also not promised as a lock. They said up to 4K.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah,
playing Destiny 2, which was supposed to be in 4K, but it looked hideous.
yeah, that's probably because they. No, that's because later Bungie said that they made it not 4K, like they did upscaling.
Yeah.
And the
Plus,
upscaling
it was
was
on
apparently
medium
not that
settings and it
great.
was not on ultra settings.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're why is this camera still started? We are getting distracted. Let's go
We are
talk
getting distracted. Yeah. So Stadia has been around for what 2 years now, which is still a miracle
2019,
to
I
me.
think.
Uh, did it launch in 2019 or did it get announced in 2019?
It launched the end of 2019.
Right. Okay. So 2019, 2020, 2021. We're now at the beginning of 2022. So a little over 2 years. That's insane. Their offerings has unfortunately started to dwindle. So, for example, they actually had an internal studio which they promised would make Stadia exclusive games. They made none because they got shut down like a
Yeah,
year later, which is really disappointing because the head of the studios was Jade Raymond, but that doesn't matter because she got a new studio out of it anyways.
yeah.
Um, and then they said, "Well, we're not going to um, get try to get contracts for AAA titles anymore,"
I don't
which
know.
is like okay. So you're not because they were giving out like a lot of money to get to corral like big AAA titles, but even when they got them, it took way longer for the to hit Stadia, and you still had to pay full price for all the games that were brought to Stadia. For example, like the Tomb Raider games, right? There's pretty like the first one is was fairly old at that point, right?
Hmm.
Still came out at full price 60, which is like why? You can like buy the game for cheap on Steam and then play it on GeForce Now, which is kind of what I did. But I already owned it when I had before I got GeForce Now, so that did allow me to finish Tomb Raider. So it has its purpose, you know. Um, so yeah, it's really weird and it's kind of unfortunate that it went the way it went because Google just has this really weird habit of introducing new tech and then letting it die.
Yep.
Like they'll look at it, if it's not doing numbers for them in like the first second, it's like, oh yeah, this is failed. We're just gonna let this wither and like wither and die and like why? You know, it's kind of disappointing. So and now the news out of that is that they're apparently selling the well, not selling the technology, but licensing the technology as a white box option. So other companies can license the Google Stadia technology for streaming games on their own service, except it doesn't say that it's Google Stadia. It just says that it's powered by something called Google Stream, which is what they call like the white label solution. So, for example, like in the US, AT&T offered their customers the ability to play
Arkham Knight.
Arkham Knight through Stadia, except you didn't see that it was Stadia, but they did later admit in like I think a press release or an interview or whatever that yeah, it's using like Google Stadia's technology. And apparently they approached other companies like Peloton and Capcom and Bungie. I think Bungie wanted to use it for. uh, for something. I don't remember what exactly was. I do know that according to the rumors, Capcom wanted to use Stadia to do demos so that people could just stream the demos through their browser, which is actually not a bad idea.
Yeah.
And Peloton wanted them to stream like exclusive games to their Peloton bikes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's super weird. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, like at least the technologies they're trying to get as much money out of the technology as possible. Because at this point, it kind of feels like it's a lost cause, which is kind of funny because they did put out a new ad for a Stadia Pro recently on their YouTube channel. It's like, you're trying to keep up appearances. You're still trying to see how much more you can milk your audience from this stuff, and it's like, okay, yeah,
Your camera's
that's
frozen.
super weird.
Oh, now it's good again.
Your camera was frozen,
Oh, okay. Now your
and it's
camera's
frozen
frozen again.
again. What's going on?
And now my camera's not working. What is going on here?
Wait, can you actually hear me? Because now it feels like we're out of sync.
No, no, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, because she kept freezing. I'm like, wait, is he frozen or is he just really not that interested in what I'm talking about?
Maybe I should use a
But it's
still
just a
image.
frozen camera.
I'll try not to
Oh,
move.
this is gonna be a really weird episode to watch on YouTube. Um, so yeah, I guess we'll wait and see the slow death of Stadia.
It's a shame.
Yeah, super weird. But yeah, that's Stadia for you. I mean, what else were you expecting?
Yeah,
Maybe you weren't expecting getting a petition to sue you,
it
like
happens.
Battlefield is apparently getting.
Yeah, I didn't know it was going on, and I do understand partially why, because people are upset in with the state of Battlefield 2042. It's pretty unplayable. It needs like I bought the game last year in a sale. It was $20 cheaper than it normally is. I was like, okay, and apparently I was able to rack up 60 hours in it. I didn't even know that in a few weeks, but
That sounds about right.
yeah, but now I've gotten to the point where I'm like, yeah, but I locked all the weapons that there are, and I locked all the gear, the vehicles, and what I try to do is to keep it interesting. Is I pick a weapon, I play with that weapon until I reach the next tier of unlocks, and then I switch to another weapon, and I do the same, and I rotate weapons, so I have like a different play style every time. But it's been like weeks since I really played hardcore for hours because on consoles auto aim is broken and it's really hard to play without aim assist. So because what will happen is the camera will shut off like now. No, what will happen is that you're sometimes it works. Sometimes what the hell is going on here?
Just
Sometimes
power through, man. Power
yeah,
through.
sometimes it the aim assist works well and sometimes it doesn't. So it's really annoying because sometimes then your gun snaps and then it doesn't snap and then you get killed and you don't get and seeing as you're in crossplay servers all the time because you want the fastest matchmaking. So you're up against PC players, and if auto aim is not working, oh, you get your ass handed to you because they have an advantage. When auto aim
Yeah.
is working, the advantage is okay, because you have auto aim to help you out, but otherwise, you will get your ass kicked all the time.
Hmm. Yeah, that's kind of a problem. I mean, here's the thing. You just talked about like a small tip of the iceberg of the issues that Battlefield 2042
Yeah.
has, and there's like way more other issues in there. Like with, I mean, they're still missing. I think they're still missing voice chat. They're still missing
Yep.
the scoreboard,
Scoreboard.
which was supposed to be added, but I think it got delayed.
Yep. It got delayed.
Um,
There's
a
no fix
bunch of
for
like
the
updates got delayed.
yeah. There's no fix for the portal XP farming. There's no people want more content, but it's not there. Um, I don't know. There's so
They
much.
really should have given Dice the time, man.
Yeah, they
Seriously.
should have just pushed the game to December till March, and then just
Honestly, I think they should have just waited until fall this year.
I don't know. I mean, like what's there is it's as I said, it's a rough diamond. It just needs to be polished a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can polish something, or you could not, and still sell a ton of them, like GTA apparently did.
Yeah, that was a surprise. But I think a lot of people bought it because of nostalgia.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm a fan of nostalgia. I mean, I'm probably the biggest like retro fan that you know, but I don't know, man. This feels like fleet. This kind of gives them a pass of doing like super crappy remakes and calling it the definitive edition and charging a premium price
Yeah,
for
but
it.
what I bet because it sold so well, because it sold 10 million copies, I think. Because it sold so well, their understanding is, oh, people want more of this stuff because they like this stuff. So let's remake GTA 4. Let's remake Red Dead Redemption. Let's remake GTA 5 because they'll find a way to do that, even though that they've,
They already did two
yeah,
times. They
yeah,
already remade it two
yep.
times.
That they've also,
Someone
they've also
someone made
officially,
the. Sorry.
so
Go
they've
ahead.
also officially confirmed that they're in full production of GTA 6. So that lit up the internet. And everyone was like, "Oh my god, it's so amazing!" Like they just confirmed that they're working on 6. It's just a confirmation. But people were like pretending like they dropped a trailer or something.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, we kind of knew that they were doing it. It's just official now.
Yeah,
See you in 2026.
yeah. Well, I think the
Yeah.
the the projection is that it's going to come out in the fiscal year 2023. So that one is still
Yeah,
2 years
sure.
away.
That's cute.
Yep.
I think that's like legit. If they had something to show, they didn't even have key art.
Nope.
They didn't even have a logo. That this game is not 2 years away.
I'm not sure. I think
I
they
don't
could
think
pull
so.
it off.
Especially since there were rumors that they were working on GTA 6 for a really long time and it actually got rebooted like what at least once
I don't know.
before it even got out of pre-production because them announcing it means that it's finally out of pre-production. Now the real work is about to start.
Yep.
So, I don't know, man. Like 2023 is very lofty. I think it's unrealistic.
Yeah, but fiscal year
I
2023 runs till
through
2024, so
2024. Okay, that's a little bit more realistic,
that's why I said it's like
but
2 years probably.
I don't know. It feels unlikely to me.
But
Like I
yeah,
think it's a
don't
bit more
forget they
realistic.
have
It just
like
feels unlikely.
don't forget that they're like Ubisoft in this regard. They have multiple studios working on it.
Fair. Um,
There's like more usually one studio takes the lead, which is I think Rockstar North, and then the other ones just
yeah.
chime in and help out.
Mm.
And
I
there
mean,
are
I guess
quite
we'll
some
see.
Rockstar studios around the world apparently.
Oh yeah, because it's part of Take Two. So
Yeah. So I mean, I think it's plausible for it to come out in the next 2 years. Um, I just, because they still have to probably keep on churning content out for GTA Online. I just, I personally, for example, liked Red Dead Redemption 2, but the issue I had with that game is that after a while, the story got really, really annoying and stretched out because it felt so, like it felt like it was past its ending. So I just dropped it, and then like months later, I came back and finally was able to finish it.
yeah.
Um, so I don't hope they do that again.
Well, that means they have to hire better writers. I don't know why I could not say that sentence for some reason,
Yeah.
but yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see what goes on with GTA and all that fun stuff. I think hmm, was there anything else? Is there anything else that? Oh wait, this kind of is related to what we're going to talk about next, so I kind of wanted to bring it up. So, uh, talking about weird stuff and people doing crimes in video games. How about crimes in real life? So, this is I think we've talked about this before, this story before, like a couple of months ago, where a bunch of hackers got arrested because they were selling like hacked consoles with ROMs on them. but they were selling them like, oh yeah, it's for the what do you call them again? The homebrew market. But then
Mm,
they loaded all the consoles up with all like ROMs of current games of like current gen games, specifically like Nintendo games. And then they got arrested, and Nintendo sued their butts. And like the ringleader got sued for and lost like twice. So he had to pay out $10 million in one lawsuit, and like 4 point.
oh,
Let me see if it's in this article. I don't think so. It is. 10 million in one lawsuit, like this past December, and I think another one for 4.8, or maybe it's the same lawsuit. I don't remember. But now he's been sentenced in a separate case, which is the first one. The first one was criminal, public face. This one is criminal,
yeah.
and he's going to jail for the next 3 years.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, he was sentenced to what, 40 months.
What I wonder in these
So
cases is that so he has to pay like let's say $15 million to Nintendo. How is he going to do that if he doesn't have the money? Is he going to have to work for the rest of his life and then every month when his paycheck comes in, give a part of it to Nintendo?
oh no no no, because well, that definitely, obviously, but also don't forget they were selling these consoles, and they were selling a subscription to unlock the full potential of these consoles,
Yeah.
so that they could hack and like, not just hack, so that they could easily put ROMs onto the
Well,
consoles,
I get
like
that,
modern
but
ROMs.
I always wonder in
So
these
they were
cases.
getting like money. So I'm pretty sure they had a decent stockpile put
But what if
away.
they don't?
That's gone
They'll be
now.
like, in these cases, I always wonder, like, how is the guy gonna pay 15? So let's say he doesn't have a dime, and he has to pay
He's definitely gonna
15
be selling
million.
these.
Is he gonna have
Yeah.
to work for the rest of his life and then give his salary
Yes.
up to Nintendo every time? But like
Pretty
that's
much.
insane. That I know what he did is bad and wrong, but that's like crazy, right? That's like it's like slave labor.
Wait, how is that slave labor? He broke the law.
I understand, but it. Let's just say that
Wait, what would you would rather have him do then?
I
Because
would have to.
like he like it's not like, here's the thing. It's not like he just put retro ROMs
No,
on
I
it that
get that, and
they
I
weren't
understand.
selling
I
anymore.
understand that Nintendo had damages and lost money and blah 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 blah. But like, I
And it
f-
wasn't just Nintendo, by the way, just so you know. It's
okay.
just that Nintendo is the one that's suing them because they did primarily Nintendo consoles
Let me
and
put it this
games.
way. I think that the crime he committed and the punishment he got for it needs to be in proportion. And now it feels like they're squeezing the kid for every dime he has. And they probably have some calculation, some fancy ass accountant or lawyer cooked up and said, well, if you sold that many Switches with these amount of games on it, we lost an average of X amount of money, even though we already make a shitload of money because we rig the book sometimes by bringing out stuff like Mario for a year and then saying, "Oh, it's going off the market in a year," which artificially boosts sales. So like they already have a shitload of money, and then they tell this kid like, "Okay, but you have to pay us 15 million." And I'm like, "How is the kid gonna pay you 15 million?
Well,
That's
for
not
starters, the kid is 51.
okay." Okay, so the guy, so, okay, I thought it was a kid. So the guy is 51. So that means like he's got like what, maybe 30 years to live. Maybe I don't know if in America they have
Oh,
pension.
did I forget to mention how long they were doing this for?
No.
They've been doing this from, get this, June 2013 to August 2020 when they got caught.
Oh, okay. So I
So
hope
they
you.
they definitely stockpiled
Yeah,
some money.
yeah,
Let's
okay,
be
but like,
real.
let me put it this way: the guy's got 30 years to live. If he doesn't have a pension, he's gonna have to work his ass off for the next 30 years. Yes, what he did was wrong, but like 15 million wrong. I would say like, you know what? Fine him a million. You know,
They are making an example of this group though,
Yeah,
because it's not just him.
but it feels like that. You know, it feels like David versus Goliath, a big ass company just coming at the little guy, even though the little guy's wrong and he shouldn't done what he did. But it's like make the punishment in proportion, man, because it's a bit crazy to expect 15 million back, you know?
I think it's not 15, it's 10. It's just a
Oh,
thing.
okay.
Like he himself, like the group got fined 10 million and he himself got like fined 4 point something. I think he did whittle that 4 point something down
Yeah.
because he made a deal with like the prosecutor. So I think
Okay.
that is even smaller.
Because, like,
But
I
still,
mean,
yeah, that's a lot for the whole group.
in it, if it's a group, it's maybe a different case. But like with these things, I always think like it has to be in proportion. Otherwise, it really looks like a big ass company coming at a little guy. I mean, like, what's 15 million to Nintendo? You know?
Well, you still have to set an example, and if you don't do it strong enough,
Yeah, but you can set an example as much as you want. You can't ban this shit out. People will keep
well, I mean,
on
of
doing
course you
this.
can't ban this up, but this might curb. I think the whole idea is that they think this will curb people from like continuing to do that.
I don't know.
At least in the way that these guys did it, because they let's be real, they were selling brand new games. Well, they were selling brand new games illegally.
That's a big no-no, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, at the end of the day, they didn't do it just to be, jerks or anything. They did it to set an example. And I get that part, and I also get your part that sometimes the punishments like outweighs like what they did. But if they did it for like almost like 10 years, like it's not like they did it for a month and
I
then you
didn't
get
know it
sued
was
for
for
10 million.
almost 10
That would
years.
be that would be like extremely
Yeah.
wrong. 10 million for like a month of like doing this stuff, or maybe 6 months. Yeah, that's way too much.
Yeah.
That's way too much.
I thought it was like I didn't know it was with 10 years. But like with these things, I
Yeah,
always think it should be in proportion.
that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
it always should be in
Yeah.
proportion. That I will not
Yeah.
deny. Yeah. But let's move on from some weirder news to
I have one more thing
um
before you move on to your monologue about the direct because
it's
it's
not
good.
gonna be a monologue.
Oh, it's going to be a
It's
monologue
gonna
because I don't have a lot to add about it. So I'll just leave the stage to you after this quick thing. So we know that the Ubisoft is working on Assassin's Creed Infinity. They haven't given
Mhm,
us a release date. A lot of us were thinking it was going to be this year because they already announced it last year by with a simple blog post. They didn't really say what was going on with it besides rumors. So there's a new rumor floating around that came up this week saying that they're going to release either this year or next year a new Assassin's Creed game, which started out as DLC, but then it got out of hand, and then it turned into a like a sequel to Valhalla, kind of like they did with the Ezio collection back in the day. So
mhm.
apparently, it's not as big, vast open world as Valhalla has. It's more centered around the city of Baghdad in Iraq, and you play as Basem, I think is his name, is one of the Arabian characters that support the Vikings, Eivor and his buddy. I forgot his name. It's been 2 years since I played the game. So apparently, you're playing with him in a different time period, and it's more focused around stealth and a little bit more smaller in scale. But it's supposed to come out either this year or next year, before Assassin's Creed Infinity launches.
Are you saying that Vikings and Persians actually interacted with one another?
In Valhalla, they do. Yeah,
Oh, in Valhalla they do. Okay.
yeah. So
Jeez,
one
like
of
I
the
thought about I was thinking about like historical
could be.
accuracy,
You never know.
but
I mean, like you
that,
never.
exactly that's why I was like, is that like a thing? Is that legit?
Yeah,
I want to know. I want to know that
yeah,
story.
that'd be cool. Yeah, but that basically is what the rumor is, and is not sure when the game is going to come out. Um,
Hmm.
I think a lot of people. I mean, apparently Valhalla is really selling really well. I mean, they're still churning out content. They're releasing a big update and a DLC pack for it. I think in a couple of weeks. Um, so yeah, I'm curious to see when the new Assassin's Creed Infinity is going to come out because that's supposed to be this whole new live service thingy. But this could be like a nice appetizer. So it's already a funny thing that Ubisoft is like compared to how Ubisoft was when the previous generation started. They were like every year they were announcing new IPs and actually showing exciting stuff. They weren't always able to deliver on the exciting stuff, but they were showing
Mhm.
exciting stuff. And now it feels like they don't have anything exciting. I mean, they've gone a bit stale. I know that they're going to release a new expansion pack for the Division, which is they're supposed to drop more information on it this month, but it's been radio silent on that front. Um, they're working on the Splinter Cell remake, which is, I mean, mixed feelings. They're working on Prince of Persia remake, but I mean, yeah, there's not a lot of sound coming out of Ubisoft, which is a bit weird because you're kind of used to them showing off these big games, and
Oh
like
no, they're being loud enough, just about the wrong stuff.
yeah, but like even though they announced two free to play games last year, that X Defiant thingy which got pushed, and the Battle Royale Ghost Recon which got pushed. Um, yeah, so I don't think they're playing their card. They're keeping their cards a little bit close to the chest. So
Except when it comes to NFTs.
yeah, but I feel like
Oh,
the whole industry is trying to figure out how to implement NFTs. But like the funny thing is, I was listening to Play Watch Listen the other day because we've mentioned that Troy Baker had this whole NFT thing, which was a little
mm,
bit out of context and a little bit of a misunderstanding because the reason so like what Troy Baker meant to say and the way people interpret it are like two different things. And in that specific episode, they go into detail because both Alana Pierce and Mike Bithell and Austin Wintry, they all hate NFTs. They're very vocal about it. So they were like, when Troy threw this stuff out, what the hell is this, you know? But then they kind of go into the conversation and Troy Baker explains what he thought he was getting into or what he knows he's getting into and the whole
yeah, because he
messaging
pulled
around
out.
it. Sorry.
Because he pulled out.
Well, he's still involved with the company, but basically what it is it's a company that offers
Wait,
AI.
he is because I'm pretty sure he announced that he's like not
Oh,
doing anything with it
oh, in that
anymore.
episode he was still involved, but maybe in the meanwhile he's left. But I know that the idea was that company um, would just it's like an AI text to speech company. So like his idea was I just give up a lot of lines and then there's this automated voice that has my voice. So if a developer wants to use my voice but they can't afford me or I don't have time or they're a small indie so there's no budget for it, they can always use this service and still have my voice in their game. And if it adds to their game, I mean that's great. And that was the initial idea. And they never talked about long term monetization and all that stuff. So I wonder how the whole NFT part got into this, because that's kind of what made it trend into the wrong direction. Well, his idea
Mm.
was, hey, if I can help others by giving up my voice and they can use it in their games, that's a win for everybody. And that makes me happy. So why not do it? And then it got like the whole thing. And the funny thing is that it made me realize like the whole industry is everybody's trying to do something with NFTs. And it feels like this, like a lot of gamers are against it because they're like, it doesn't make sense, the whole idea behind NFTs. And so it feels like this high school cool kids trying to get into something, but everybody's like, but we don't want you cool kids around. But the cool kids keep on saying, yo, bro, NFTs are so cool. They're kind of like the crypto bros and stuff like that. And everybody's like, we don't want your shit, just take it and leave. And somehow these cool kids got into the minds of these executives from these companies, and they're like, oh, yeah, but the cool kids are right. We need NFTs in our game. I'm like, no, just don't.
Yeah, but the cool kids is like a really small clique,
Yeah.
and the only difference is they are really loud,
Yeah.
and that's why executives. There's a word I don't want to say. I don't want to use it because that's way too mean. Executives don't think beyond. Oh, this looks like it makes money, despite the fact that like most NFTs are either scams, rug pulls, or just plain bad.
Yep. I
Um,
feel NFTs are also like a trend that will pass. Or that will pass.
I really hope it does, but they are the NFT crowd is so unbelievably loud and annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, they get their comeuppance every now and then, but man, they are really loud and annoying. The fact that like even um Twitter decided to like placate them and like give them their own special icons when they put up their NFT. It's like instead of a circle, it's a hexagon,
Oh
so you
wow.
that you know that it's an NFT. This is unique to this person. It's like get out of
Yeah, it's
here.
annoying because
That's so dumb. Oh, and people have hacked that system, so now people can right click and save an NFT image and then use it, and they'll still get the hexagon too.
oh my god.
So it's like, what was the point?
Yeah, you just pissed away a lot of money. You know what? This is like a side tangent, but what annoys me the most about this whole NFT and crypto stuff is that you get these dumbass people throwing out these stupid ass reels, shorts, whatnot videos where they're acting all tough and walking in super expensive or fancy clothes. And they're like, oh, you want to know how I got to this lifestyle at the age of 21? NFTs, crypto, blah, blah, blah,
Ugh.
blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, take your TikTok shit and just please piss off because this isn't cool and you're not rich. You didn't find some ace in the hole. This is just like it's gonna pass over. This wave's gonna pass over, and then if you dropped out of school, you're gonna wish you stayed in school, dumbass, because then you can keep your stupid JPEGs that everybody pirated it anyways. It
Ugh,
annoys the shit out of me.
just flipping no, man.
Yeah,
Just flipping no.
yeah,
Uh, all right, let's move on from
yeah.
this no flipping thanks kind of news.
The stage is
Um,
yours. Go have your monologue. I'm here. I will be nodding, smiling, and sometimes
I'm
waving.
not gonna have a monologue. I'm just gonna like talk about some of the highlights of the Nintendo Direct and just talk about it a little bit in general because I know that this Nintendo Direct was not for everyone. I'll admit to that, right?
No.
Like I keep saying to everybody's like it was made for me. It was made for JRPG fan
Yeah.
because we got a lot of stuff that we didn't think was ever gonna happen in our lifetime. So from the bottom of my heart to those that worked alongside and were like, this is gonna be the year of the JRPG. Thank you. Thank you very much. And also thank you for announcing it on Nintendo's Direct because it made it way more exciting to watch for me. But yeah, a bunch of games got announced. Of course, it was a 40-minute Nintendo Direct. They started off with Fire Emblem Warriors, a new Warriors game for Fire Emblem, specifically around the Three Houses story. So it's called Fire Emblem Warriors Three Hopes, and it uses the characters from Three Houses, and it looks really cool. It looks better than the first Fire Emblem Warriors game, so that's nice plus. And then they got into a bunch of other stuff, but I'm not going to talk about all of it, otherwise it really is going to end up being a monologue. So I just want to highlight a few things that um before I get into the whole JRPG thing that is not JRPG related, so people might stick around hopefully. So the first thing that kind of blew my mind, and I actually did talk about, I don't think I talked about this on the podcast, which is weird because I'm pretty sure I talked about it in what we've been playing. Because like a month and a half ago, I was playing this on stream, the Wii version, of course, of Mario Strikers, and I was talking about it during stream. Like, it would be so amazing that they would make a new Mario Strikers game because they bought the developer that made it, Next Level Games. And lo and behold, the next thing well, not the next thing they showed, but lo and behold, in this direct, they show off a new Mario Strikers game called Mario Strikers Battle League Football. In Europe, it's called Battle League Football. Everywhere else, it's just called Battle League. Again, you're being weird. Um, but yeah, it looks so cool. Like the art style is really crisp and nice. They're adding 5v5 multiplayer, which the series has never had before. I think at most it was 2v2. Um,
You would know
or
better.
1v1. I don't remember. It's been a while. I think it was for the 2v2. And it, of course, has online play, multiplayer, and stuff like that. But like the art style, like the trailer is so cool. It looks so nice. They showed off a new trailer for Kirby and the Forgotten Land, which introduces a new ability for Kirby, which is called Mouthful Mode, where tries to swallow giant things, like for example, a car, and then he looks like a car, and he can drive around, but it's like the most cursed image that I've ever seen. I don't know if you saw it, but oh my goodness, it's so cursed. It's so cursed. What else did they? Oh, they announced a new game in the Wii Sports franchise called Nintendo Switch Sports.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, who asked for this? And second of all, um, yeah, who asked for this? Because I was not expecting it. I thought people were over like um motion control gaming, but apparently a lot of people are excited about it when it got announced. So it's coming out April 29th, and Kirby's coming out March 25th, um, with a online playtest coming out this coming weekend. As you're listening, if you're listening to this episode as it goes out, this coming weekend there is a online playtest for Nintendo Switch Sports. So if you have a Switch and you're interested and want to play a little bit of, I don't know which sports they said. I think golf. No, not golf. Golf comes out in the fall. I think bowling will be in the online playtest, and badminton and another sport. I don't remember which one. I think soccer, football. So there's that. Triangle Strategy got a free demo that launched when the direct was over. I still haven't played it yet because I'm
Is this
still
like not the third demo of the game already?
no, this is the second one.
Ah,
This
okay.
is yeah. They put out a like a an alpha or beta
Hmm.
um, when they announced it. That was like over a year ago, and this is the prologue demo. So the first three chapters of the game you can play in this demo, and once you purchase the game, the save file transfers over to the full game.
I really like that they do that. They do that with a lot of games, and it really works well.
I love games that do this because it gives the incentive to actually pick up the game.
Yeah,
Um, Other than that, they announced they showed off Splatoon 3's new Salmon Run mode, which looks good.
I
I
didn't
mean, it's
like the
Splatoon.
music in the Splatoon. It was so weird. I was like, ah, no.
The Salmon Run music can be a bit eclectic. I will admit to that, but the mode itself is very stressful. It's kind of Splatoon mode's version of Horde mode, and
Okay.
it can get really stressful. And then
Uh,
the music kicks in, and then you're like, "Oh my god, the time!"
yeah, I didn't like the music at all. Like, I don't want to play this game because it just, I don't know.
I do want to. Honestly, I had this goal with Splatoon 2 to have a squad, but it never happened. But maybe with Splatoon 3, it might happen because a lot of people now know of Splatoon. So if I can get people to get together, I might actually have a 4-man squad that I can team up with on a semi-regular basis.
That'd be nice.
That would be nice. Metro Dread got is getting some free updates in April, and also dropped right away. One is the dread mode where one hit kills, like literally one hit kills, and a rookie mode for those that thought it was too difficult. And Portal is coming to Switch, like 1 and 2,
Yeah,
like
Assassin's
a whole
Creed.
bunch of like yeah, so a whole bunch of ports. So Portal 1 and 2, Assassin's Creed the XCO collection is coming to Switch. Star Wars The Force Unleashed, which
Which, by the way,
if
looked
you look at the
ugly.
footage, I think it's the Wii version that they're porting
Oh, it looked so
because
ugly.
the Wii version is exclusive to the Wii. It wasn't like the other games,
Yeah, because I
and
was
it
like,
looked
whoa, the PS3
mm,
version looked so much better than this.
yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's not the PS3 version.
Yeah.
Um, what else? What else? Oh, No Man's Sky.
Yeah, that was really cool. I didn't expect that one.
It actually looked good.
Yeah.
Like what the heck?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
Yeah. I was when I saw it, I was like, what?
Yeah, I don't know. Like they announced a bunch of other stuff, but the ones that I want to focus on are the JRPG ones. And honestly, oh my goodness. So I think it started with I think the first thing RPG related that they showed off outside of Fire Emblem was Front Mission First, which is a remake of the classic Front Mission game that came out on the Super Nintendo. Like it has a lot of it has not a lot of fans. It has a hardcore fan base, and it's really cool because it's this tactical RPG where you command like this squad of mech mech robots
Those
or
look cool. Yeah.
mech pilots, and it's really cool. And the story is apparently really good for the time. So I'm like really happy. I look at the like it's done really well. It
Mm.
looks really crisp
I was
as you
also
think.
excited for that one.
Then they showed off a game that I like two games that we never thought we would see. One was one is a remake that people have been asking for the longest time. Chrono Cross, the Radical Dreamer Collection, which not only includes the Chrono Cross PlayStation game, but also the Super Nintendo Satellaview uh, visual novel, kind of called Radical Dreamers, which is kind of like a prequel, and it technically sets up that Chrono Trigger and Chrono Cross are connected, and that Radical Dreamers part is the thing that connects them. But it never came out in English because it was a Japan only download game. So that added that to this collection, which is really nice. I really appreciate that they did that because that means that they know that it's important to the story. Then we got the mother of all, which is kind of ironic because they actually did release Mother on like the Nintendo Switch Online thing on Super Nintendo and NES, aka Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings. They announced the craziest and most unexpected remake of all time, and it looks good too. Live Alive, which was previously a Japan only JRPG on the Super Nintendo, getting a full HD 2D remake on the style of Octopath Traveler and Triangle Strategy and games like that. Looking super crisp, super sharp, but still using like the pixel art. Oh my goodness! I did honestly like this is one of those games that I never thought they would ever touch again because it's one game. They only sold it in Japan, and I think the only way Western fans were able to play it is because there's a fan translation. So that's the only way we've been able to play it. And now it's coming out on July 22nd. It is download only for the West, unfortunately. And I saw that Japan is getting a collector's edition that costs 220 euros.
Holy shit.
It has like a map, playing cards, and I think an art book and soundtrack.
Mm, wow.
And it comes in a beautiful, beautiful box.
Nice.
But it's 220 euros. I cannot afford that. It made me so sad. I was like, I kind of really want this, but it's not worth getting it for the 220 and then paying the import price for it. Because the import price for that would not be cheap. And like I said, they also gave us Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings, aka the Mother series, in Japan. I already talked about Triangle Strategy. And last,
Oh wait, did you talk
no,
about
wait, sorry. I
the
almost forgot.
the
Sorry.
first?
Mario Kart?
No, Advance Wars.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Thank you
I'm
for
looking
reminding me.
forward to that one.
Advance Wars is finally coming out April 8th.
Yeah,
Let's flipping go. Oh man, I'm gonna be streaming that. I don't know how I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be streaming that.
I want to
Like
play too.
I might do a stream of the original game because I have it on my Wii U.
Hmm.
So I can do that if I want to. So I think I might do that before I stream like the remake, just so that people can see like a comparison. Um, oh my god, I'm so happy with that. It's so thank you for reminding me, man. Sheesh. I was so excited about like the JRPG news that I wanted to talk about. I almost forgot about Advance Wars. Ah, so good, so good. Um, the other big thing, Mario Kart 8 is pretty old. It first came out on the Wii U. Then it came out on the Switch as deluxe with all the DLC. And then nothing happened. It sold a lot. It still sells a lot,
It's is it not the
despite the
best
fact that the
selling
game is it's
Switch
the best
game?
selling game on I think it's the best selling game on Switch,
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
Because it sold like a lot. I think at least like how many like because the Switch is sold now
100 million.
over 100 million. I think it's at 103 right now. So it outsold the Wii, because the Wii is at 101. If the sales keep pace, it might outsell the PlayStation 4 by next year. Um, but I don't think it's anywhere near outselling the DS, which sits at a comfortable 156 million,
Oh crap!
which is like
Damn.
insane. That
Oh
is insane, bro.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I think like at least a quarter of people that own a Switch own Mario Kart 8.
I think it's like up in easily in the 30 millions.
Yeah, so it's a lot. And now they're adding DLC to it after all this time. 48 tracks worth of DLC. And it's 25 bucks. And if you have the expansion plus if you have the expansion pack Nintendo Switch Online subscription, it comes with it like they did with Animal Crossing.
Did you get it? The expansion
Yeah,
pack?
I have the expansion
Hmm.
pass. Yeah. So come March 18th, I'll be playing more Mario Kart because we now suddenly have a whole bunch of more content, and they're going to be remaking tracks from older games, all the way back from the Super Nintendo era to the mobile game. To
Oh.
be fair, the tracks in the mobile game actually look really cool. It's just it's on mobile,
Yeah.
so at least it's gonna be on something that's worth something. But yeah, they said they were gonna space it out in 6 drops, and this is the first drop of 6, and they're going to be like delivering DLC from this booster pack till the end of 2023.
And then the new Switch comes out and has Mario Kart 9 as a launch title.
9. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know. Like at this point, because people were like, "Oh, like Mario Kart 9 is in the works and it's confirmed and blah 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 blah," and then they put this out and it's like, ah, but there was
Yeah.
also this weird rumor that one of the launch titles, One Two Switch, was getting a sequel, and people were like, "But why? It sold barely over a million." I think no. I think One Two Switch sold maybe less than 3 million at this point in time, which is still crazy because it's a tech demo that should have been a pack in for the system, whatever. Uh, but yeah, I think that turned into Nintendo Switch Sports, so I think that's a win-win. I think that's a way better deal than One Two Switch Two or whatever they would call it. So yeah, that is almost everything. There's just one more thing that they announced, and I lost like the announcement of Live Alive drove me insane. Like no, actually it didn't even drove me. It drove me speechless when that happened. I was speechless when that happened. When I saw that Chrono Cross was coming, I lost my mind. But when they announced Xenoblade Chronicles 3, I just I just shut down. I like literally stopped. I was like, Maximilian X.exe has stopped working. Like, I was so flabbergasted because I know that they're working on the next game. I didn't expect it to be announced this year and coming out this fall.
Yep.
I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. This is my years. Like, this is where we're working towards, which is kind of insane because they still expect us to believe that Zelda is coming out this year. And if that does drop this holiday season, then Nintendo fans would have gotten like so much good stuff this year. It's beyond insanity.
Maybe
Like you're
they'll
gonna get a whole bunch of Mario Kart stuff throughout the year.
but
You're gonna get Zelda.
yeah, they're probably saving Zelda for the holiday season.
You're probably gonna get Bayonetta, which they didn't show off. I think they're saving that one for E3.
Oh yeah.
They didn't show off Metroid Prime 4, but we still haven't heard anything about Metroid Prime 4. I don't think we're gonna see Metroid Prime 4 this year. but I've been proven wrong before, and I would love to be proven wrong this time. It's gonna be a wild one, folks. Like this year has barely started, and we're getting like this week we're already getting Horizon. At the end of the month, we're getting Elden Ring. Lost Ark for all those MMO fans dropped. Um, what else? What else actually dropped this past couple of weeks?
Uncharted,
Pokemon dropped.
Pokemon, Uncharted.
Uncharted dropped.
Yep. Dying Light, but I don't know.
Dying Light
It's
kind of
mixed
got
reception.
mixed. Yeah, it got a mixed reception, which is kind of a shame because it actually looks really cool. But people, like we are not in March yet, and March is starting to look stacked too. Like,
Yeah.
ah,
And we're getting Saints Row in August. We're getting God of War Ragnarok hopefully in this fall holiday season. Gran Turismo 7 is coming out in a couple of weeks.
wait, oh yeah, that is coming out in March, isn't it?
March 4th, I think.
Jeez, the friggin' news that
Yep.
kind of snuck up on us, didn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
Although to be fair, neither of us are big Gran Turismo guys, so
yeah. I mean, I've played it in the past and I like it, but I'm the casual Gran Turismo player. I'm not the hardcore one. But
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I mean, like, I feel this year, if all the releases planned for this year actually make it out, this will probably be the year where a lot of us will be like, yeah, it's time to own a next gen console. If you're, because if some of the games besides the Switch games, but like Forspoken is coming out. Uh,
Hey, watch it.
what? No, but like
You were
in the last 2 years, I said, yeah, it's okay if you don't have a PS5, you're not missing out. But now we're getting to the point where I'm like, well, now might be the time to start thinking about getting a next gen console. Yeah, you could play a lot of these games on PS4, but in on PS5 or Series X, oh, they will look great. It's the best
Uh,
experience. So,
yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is gonna be a crazy year. I know who's gonna be crying though. Our wallets.
oh man, don't get me
Yeah.
started.
Rip wallets, man. Rip wallets. Everybody's wallets is getting owned.
Yeah,
Like the PlayStation fan, the Microsoft fan. Actually, the Microsoft fans are the ones that are the lucky ones because they only have to pay a flat fee of $15 a month
yeah.
to get at least the exclusives, like the Microsoft exclusives.
But I wonder
Third
which
party
games are
third party stuff is like kind of on the cusp, but
which Microsoft exclusives are coming out this year.
I honestly don't know.
Me
I
neither.
think we'll find out. I think we'll find out at E3, or they might do another Xbox Connect
Oh,
thing
I
or
don't hope
whatever
so.
they
I
call
really
those.
don't hope so.
What is it? ID at Xbox? That's what they call them. I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
But that's at least something to look forward to. Um, Even if Microsoft doesn't put out a lot of stuff this year, there's a lot of third party stuff that'll be available through Game Pass. So I think they're good. I think Microsoft
Yeah,
doesn't need to worry. Um, if the Game Pass crowd hangs around, they're good. They're fine. Sony's fans are gonna rejoice about a lot of stuff. Nintendo fans already have a lot of things to celebrate, and like I said, man, JRPG fans, I think this year might actually be the year of the JRPG, and
yeah.
that is great because the JRPGs have really needed it. Like we started this year off strong with Tales of Arise. Tales of Arise looks good. A lot of people like Tales of Arise. Now it's fine. Now that it finally looks like a modern game.
Are you talking about the one that came out on PS5 as well, or?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
that one.
yeah,
It came out like 3 weeks ago or so, a month or so ago. So yeah, it's a good start of the year for JRPG fans.
yeah. And who knows? Maybe Final Fantasy 16 might come out.
I don't think Final Fantasy 16 is coming out this year, but the rumor does say that Final Fantasy 7 Remake Part 2 will get some announcements this year.
Yep.
Just announcements, not release. Unless they want to surprise us like they did with gosh darn Xenoblade Chronicles 3 and me losing any semblance of motor functions.
Maybe I should put that clip up so that people can see it.
uh
But their eardrums will
yeah,
probably blow
if
out.
if you want to, you can do that. Just yeah, exactly. Audio warning ahead. So yeah, I think that's it for news. Unless there's any other news that we might have missed.
Let me check if there's anything breaking, because you know how that
Yeah, like they
goes.
did the last time. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
probably handy. While you check that, I do want to give some honorable mentions from the direct. Let me see if I missed anything that was like interesting. Fans of PlayStation platformer Klonoa, that's getting a collection release as well, called oh my goodness, what's it called? Klonoa, Door to Panthema, and Klonoa Tulu and Antares Vale is coming as Klonoa Fantasy Reverie, which is coming out July 8th. Taiko no Dachatrian, which is a rhythm game from Japan, which is one of my favorite rhythm games, is coming out on Switch this year. The interesting thing about this one is that it also comes with a paid subscription, which gives you access to over 500 songs, which is something new for the series because usually they sell you the songs piecemeal as DLC or part of DLC packs. I think this, if the pricing is good, it might be nice. The Cuphead DLC is coming out June 30th on Nintendo Switch. The Delicious Last Course, which is, I love that naming because that naming is literally DLC. We already talked about Assassin's Creed, Kingdom Hearts, of course. All the Kingdom Hearts are on Switch now through the cloud, unfortunately. And then they showed off a bunch of other stuff, but I honestly don't care. Don't care, don't care, don't care. The rest is all noise compared to Xenoblade 3, which is probably going to be the best JRPG of the year. I'm calling it. And if you don't agree with me, I don't care. I'm still right.
I have a rumor
Um,
regarding the Division Heartland. Um,
Wait, is that the mobile game?
no, that's the free to play game that's supposed to come out.
Oh, right. Yeah. What's the rumor?
So the rumor is that the game might come out soon because it's scheduled for fiscal year March 2023. So it means it has to come out before March next year. Apparently, it's going to have two modes. Is one is called Storm, which is PvPvE. So they're aiming for something like a Escape from Tarkov kind of mode where you infiltrate an area, you loot, and then you try to extract with the loot. And then there's a mode called Excursion, which is a PvE mode, which is basically aimed to prepare you for the storm mode.
Hmm.
You can play up with a couple of friends. I think it's well out with two other friends, so squads of three, whereas the normal division games have squads of four. The open world is pretty big. It's set in Silver Creek, as it is called. Um, let's see. It has tiered loot, like we're used to in the other division games. You have a base of operations, like in the other division games. There's a bunch of classes: weapon expert, medic, and survivalist. And these, of course, have perks and talents.
Mhm.
Um, and that's it. And they say like Ubisoft could unveil the game soon. But then again, Ubisoft is also supposed to do something around the Division 2 expansion in February because the last thing the developer said last year was we're going to show you more in February. So we are heading into February now. So maybe they'll
We're
do
almost halfway through February.
yeah, so
My
maybe
goodness.
they'll do like
Actually, as this episode launches,
it'll
we
be
are halfway
yeah.
through February.
Yeah, so maybe they'll do like this Division event and then talk about the Division 2 expansion and this free to play game. But that's what I can find. Another fun bit, weird bit, is that apparently the composers of Halo are suing Microsoft after 20 years. Uh,
Again?
I don't know if it's just the one guy that worked at Bungie, Marty O'Donnell is his name, I think,
Yeah.
or like a group of composers, but they're suing Microsoft apparently. And
Over
for the
royalties?
let me check what the article says real quick. Pop, pop, pop. Marty O'Donnell
That
and
would
Mike
yeah.
Salvatore believe Microsoft owes unpaid royalties.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, I don't. I mentioned this offline, but Activision on Friday confirmed that the next installment in Call of Duty will be developed by Infinity Ward and will be a sequel to 2019's Modern Warfare. I
Hmm.
read the other day that it might be based around drug cartel, so it could be like in South America. That's the rumor. And they're also working on a sequel to Warzone, which will launch at the same time as Modern Warfare sequel comes out. It's slated for a release this holiday season. I personally am not a big Call of Duty fan, but I love the Modern Warfare game, so this one will definitely be one I'm looking forward to. And
Hmm.
that's basically what I have.
All right.
And then when we probably end this recording, we'll just see that Microsoft bought Ubisoft or EA. No,
Oh my goodness. I hope that's not. I don't think that we're gonna see anything big, but
no, I don't think
heaven
so either.
preserve. Oh boy. Oh, there was one thing related to what you were talking about. Um, actually, no, no, there wasn't. The only thing I wanted to say is I kind of want to play Division again, but the barrier of entry is my hard drive. I really need to upgrade that stupid hard drive in my PlayStation 4. Or at this point, just save up and get a PlayStation 5 like this holiday or something.
Yeah, probably. But then you'll probably run
Yeah.
into storage issues there as well.
Ah, for Pete's sake. Yeah. Definitely, because the hard drive on a PlayStation 5 is like astronomically tiny.
It's 700 and something gigabytes.
It's tiny. And like
It's
I know
okay.
that like and this is coming from like a Nintendo Switch fan, right?
Yeah, but
So
you just download a shitload of games and you like when I finish a game, I just remove it. I don't keep it there to ferment or something. It's not like I'm making game kimchi or anything. So like when I'm done with a game, I just remove it because it has no purpose. I don't understand these kimchi makers.
because it takes way too long to download stuff,
I never have that
Ethius.
issue because I have a lot. I have a pretty fast internet connection. I'm spoiled in that
Yeah,
regard.
so do I, but I'm still lazy in that regard. I don't care, I'm lazy. All right. So, that's it for news. That's it for rumors. Stick around. We'll be right back with what we've been playing. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second segment, which is as always what we've been playing. So, Sean Templar, what have you been playing?
I have been playing a bit of Uncharted, the Thieves blah 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 collection. So I think the last time I spoke about that I finished Uncharted 4, and after that I jumped in the Lost Legacy, and obviously I finished that as well. Um, I really want a new Uncharted game because I love Uncharted. It's just so nice. It's funny. The combat is cool. The puzzles are nice. It's like this theme park ride, roller coaster ride. You just go on for hours and you just want more and more, and it doesn't end. It's just so nice. And I don't understand why Sony isn't doing more with this. I mean, The Lost Legacy as well. You play as Chloe and Nadine Ross, which was one of the bad guys or girls in this case from the previous Uncharted, is your partner, and they form a nice duo. And then eventually, Sam Drake appears, and he also helps out. And for me, they proved really like they could just do an Uncharted without Nathan, and it could still work because it was still a fun and cool game to play. So I really hope they'll do something with it instead of the rumored Last of Us One remake Naughty Dog supposedly working on because nobody wants that. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I mean, the game looks beautiful. Even on the PS5, it just looks pretty. It's funny to see that. I remember at the time when I played it, when it first came out, I told myself there's this sort of semi open world section where you're in a Jeep, which has like a really great driving mechanic. And then you come into this large open area, and then you have like four towers you need to climb and solve a small puzzle in. And before you can do that, you get to this one center tower, and then you find the locations for these four. When I did that at the time, I said to myself, "Oh, I wouldn't be surprised if this is like a test to see if to test, and maybe they'll implement this in The Last of Us Part Two." And then eventually, when The Last of Us Part Two came out, lo and behold, it was in there. Because when you get to Seattle for the first time, you find a map and you mark different locations on the map, and you kind of do the same thing. It was like, oh, I've seen this before. But it's cool because it offers a little bit of a different experience. It gives you a little bit more freedom compared to the normally pretty linear experience. Um, I would love a semi open world Uncharted, kind of like what Tomb Raider does. Because with Tomb Raider, I always do have the feeling that's open world. So I would
Yeah.
love to have that, or maybe something like you get upgradable skills or something like that. Because that's something always that Uncharted didn't have. There's no RPG skill tree mechanic in there, and I believe that there could be cool stuff you can unlock or level up to. Just tossing around some ideas, Naughty Dog, if you're listening. um, and yeah, after I finished Uncharted, I saw that um, there was a sale in the PlayStation Store. So I was just browsing, and I saw Kena Bridge of Spirits, which I did not buy last year, and now it was in the sale. I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy this game now. So I bought the
Nice.
game, and I finished it yesterday, and I've been playing
Oh.
it like for almost a whole week. And first off, I think this is the most beautiful game I've played on the PS5 so
Oh,
far. It is,
by far.
oh my god, it's like a Pixar animation movie, and I enjoyed every second of it. It is gorgeous. I played. You have two modes: native 4K 30 FPS or upscaled 4K with 60 FPS. I played 60 FPS. It looked amazing still, and those little rod creatures are super cute and funny. You can buy them like different hats, which is really cool. And then as your pack of rots grows, you have like they just all follow you. So eventually you have like 60 following you. And then if you stand still, they're just all in a circle around you and making these funny noises, looking at you like you're their mama rot or something like that. It's just really cool. Combat is really nice. There's some skill tree in there to unlock abilities. It's a pretty hard game. I didn't expect that.
Mm.
It gradually gets harder, and as you get to the end, it's really difficult. At points I thought like maybe I should just switch it to easy mode and try to finish it that way. I'm like, no, 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 I don't want to. I need to finish this on normal. But yeah, it's really cool. It has puzzle solving and platforming into it. There's some. The funny thing is that there's like it feels like they took inspiration from other games, such as the climbing mechanic feels like something out of Uncharted, and the bow feels like something out of Horizon, and the combat with the staff feels like something out of Ratchet and Clank. So it's really funny to see like all these PlayStation inspirations in one game. um,
Mm.
yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend it to anyone. On PS4, it'll probably look great as well. But on PS5, I was like literally blown away. I remember last year with Returnal, I had that, and here I had that with, and this year I have that with Kina. Voice acting is cool. The story is interesting. I mean, this is the first game from an indie studio, or like a first game in this scale from Ember Lab. Um,
Well,
and
they've never made a game. This is literally their
oh, I
first game.
thought they did like a mobile game, but
They were a animation house.
yeah, I know. I listened to a podcast, and they mentioned there that they did a mobile, but I don't know if they brought out the mobile game or not. Because the founders, their dad was an executive of Disney, so that probably explains
That
why.
explains a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So it's a really cool episode of a podcast. It's I would recommend it. Um, so yeah, but like I would definitely recommend this game, and it's crazy that this game is just for like the normal MSRP is 40 euros, and I mean like
Mhm.
I would have paid $60 for this game because
I bought it for 23.
oh, it's even better. Yeah, I love. Did you finish it?
Not yet because it's flipping hard.
Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah, but I
And
like
I
it.
played it
Yeah,
on I did play it on stream like a while ago,
yeah.
and I don't know if it's because I was playing it through GeForce Now, of course.
Ah,
Um, despite the fact that that game is on 1080p on GeForce Now, oh my gosh, the animation is so
It's
tight.
so good. It's so smooth. Yeah, it's
Seriously.
almost a perfect 60 FPS. There's like a couple of instances where I had like okay, but I love
Yeah,
it. I hope that they do a
my
sequel.
issue was it was running at 60 FPS, but I had
FTPS.
dips. FTPS. 60 FPS, but it was dipping.
Oh,
Like
that
the
sucks.
performance
Yeah,
on GeForce Now was dipping during the live stream. So I don't know if it was because I was live streaming and doing GeForce Now, which is
yeah.
weird because I've never had that issue before with,
Oh,
like, say,
Astroneer.
Astroneer. So I
Okay.
don't know if it's the game specifically.
By the way, I saw that Astroneer came out on Switch.
Yes, it is out on
Yeah,
Switch. I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up right away. I haven't picked it up yet. I do want to get it on Switch
I was thinking about
because I
getting
want
it
to be
as
able to
well.
play it on the
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
Because that game on the go, yes, yes,
yeah.
please.
But yeah, I mean, Kina, I would definitely recommend it if you haven't played it already. And then also, I for some reason got in a nostalgic mood because I'm just trying to bridge the gap till Horizon Forbidden West comes out. Basically, like everybody that has a PlayStation.
So you went back to Horizon Zero
Well,
Dawn.
I wanted to do that, so I downloaded it again, and it's still on my PlayStation fermenting. And I fired it up once, and I mean, like after 5 minutes, I was like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for this stuff because I did New Game Plus, but still, you have to do a lot of the early stuff in the game, which I was like, I don't know if I got the patience for this. So I played like 5 minutes and then I quit. Maybe I'll
Hmm.
do it this week. I don't know. But I downloaded Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor because I loved that game
Oh.
on the PS4 when it came out. But the funny thing is, when I started it up, because I was used to 60 FPS with Kina,
Hmm.
and this is 30 FPS. It felt
Oh, it felt
so
so
weird.
slow.
Oh my god, it felt like input laggy or that the game was just having lag. I'm like, what is happening here? I cannot handle this. And then I looked and there's no 60 FPS patch for it, not even with the PS4 Pro. It's just locked at 30. I'm like, I cannot play this. So just I bought like a really cheap copy of Steam. I paid like $5 for it. So I played it a bit of on my PC with my Xbox controller. And
Yeah.
damn, I really hope they make a new game in that franchise because Shadow of War wasn't received as well as Shadow of Mordor. Because I remember when Shadow of Mordor came out, before it came out, I was like, this game's not gonna be good. It's another because Lord of the Rings game had like a bad run at that time. It's like this is not gonna be a good game, and then it got nines across the board, and it was like this underdog. And then I thought like, okay. And I bought it. And I was completely sold. I loved it. I spent like 60 hours on that game and I loved every second of it. And then the sequel came out, and like until three-quarters of the game, that was an amazing game. And then the last part was this really boring grind. I never understood why they did it. And then
I
they
think they
never,
ran out of ideas, maybe.
maybe, yeah. And then eventually they just never did something with that game anymore. And I'm like, this game's really good. They need to do more with this. But yeah,
It's Warner Brothers, right?
yeah, and the funny thing is this morning, I don't know if it's true. I read that the movie and game rights for the Lord of the Rings are up for sale for 2 billion. So yeah,
I think I know what Microsoft is going to be buying next.
could be, or maybe something like Ubisoft, and then they turn it into a live service game, Assassin's Creed, kind of like open world game.
Is Ubisoft even worth 2 billion?
Yeah, I think if Microsoft tried to buy Ubisoft right now, it would maybe not.
Oh no, I like this is the scary part. At this point, I don't think there's a company out there that Microsoft cannot buy.
Yeah, but like if they were wanting to buy Ubisoft, it would maybe not be the 70 billion they paid for Activision, but I think they would pay
No,
at
no,
least 30 or something.
because they're not worth the 70 billion.
No, no, no,
Like
but like
Activision was the one that was worth the most at the
yeah,
whole
but
thing,
like they would at least pay 30 million because of, for example, Assassin's Creed.
probably.
Yeah, 30 billion. Sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, and then still a little bit of Stardew Valley on the Switch, but I'm in the winter period, and the winter period is really boring because at least on the
yeah.
PC you can mod it.
Winter period is basically what you do to do a lot of spelunking. So like going to dungeons and like
Yeah,
getting resources there.
yeah, that's what I'm
Unless you
doing.
have unless you have a greenhouse, then you can do more farming to your heart's content.
Yeah, or the in the PC version, you can install mods and get crops in the winter and stuff like that.
Oh, that's boring.
Well, I wouldn't say that because there's some pretty cool mods. There's like even I played the PC version with someone else, and I asked like, "Can I butcher these animals? Because like, can I have like meat?" And the person was like, "No, but maybe there's a mod for it." And then we looked, and there's like a
What?
butcher's mod. I'm like, "I want that stuff. I want to be able to
No,
yes, it,
not little wubba lubba dub dub.
it's the circle of life. You know, some animals are there to live and some no. I'm just this is gonna sound weird. I'm gonna get like all the vegan people that listen gonna grab their pitchforks and come hunt me down and tell me you need to become vegan, mister. I'm like, no,
If we have vegan listeners out there, that
I
would
don't
be a
know.
shock to
I
me.
don't know. I mean, why? I mean, that's like it's not games or it's not like that games are vegan or not vegan.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean,
That I mean,
we have fermented games, but that's something different. But anyways, yeah, that's it. Oh, and I bought a game, but I haven't even opened the package yet.
oh, are you gonna tell us what game, or are we gonna have to wait?
It's Pokémon Legends Arceus. Yeah, I came like
You bought a good game.
it
You bought
came
a
in
good
3 days
game.
ago, and it's still in the box or in the wrap and the packaging. I haven't
Is
even
it
opened.
because I gave you Brilliant Diamond to play?
No, because I've been playing Brilliant Diamond, but it's so grindy. I don't like it. It's like I was excited to play it, and then I played like a couple of hours, and I'm like, this is boring, man. This is like really grindy, and I don't like grindy.
That was my problem with it as
So I'll
well.
probably be giving it back to you soon.
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. Honestly, whatever with that
Yeah.
game. No. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I'm a bit in a mood or like I'm all on PlayStation games right now because I'm trying to get the Friday the 18th, and then the world will not hear from me for 3 days because I have 3 days off. But
Nice.
yeah, I mean, eventually I'll open up Pokemon and watch it, play it, and you'll hear about it. But I don't even know why I bought it. It was like an impulse move. It's like I want Pokemon Legends Arceus, and then it came in. I'm like, I'm not gonna open this, and I just put it somewhere in a corner. Like every time I walk past that corner in my kitchen, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Pokemon.
Good. Give in to the urges. Play Pokemon
No,
Arceus.
it's not even that the package is whispering to me. Normally, when I do that, some games
Oh
whisper
no,
to me.
that's me in your mind, in the back of your mind. That's
Oh,
me saying that.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, my influence is growing stronger.
No, 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 no. If you ask me, probably in a month it'll still be in the package because Horizon's coming out, and I'll be lost in the Forbidden West for a month.
I'll give you that. That's a fair thing to do because I kind of had the same thing when I like played Horizon Zero Dawn the first time. It's like, dang, this is actually kind of good.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's cool.
that's
Anything
it.
else?
Nope, that's it. What have you
That's
been
it.
playing?
Do you even need to ask?
Pokemon Legends Arceus.
That's literally all I've been playing.
Oh, that's good. Well, that's another episode of Game Rivals. We'll see you next week.
I'm almost at the end, and I want to. Luckily, at least this week I have a better schedule, so I should be able to live stream it, and maybe I'll be able to live stream the ending. So yeah, that's mostly what I've been playing. I've put in over 50 hours,
Damn.
and I've been loving every moment of it.
Have you been playing it mostly handheld mode or in docked mode as well?
Mostly handheld.
Okay.
Because like I don't have a lot of time. At least this past couple of weeks, I haven't had a lot of time.
Mm.
So I've been playing it on the go. I've been playing it during lunch. I've been playing it in bed before going to bed. Um, Maybe sometimes if I come home from work and I'm not extremely tired, I'll put it in the dock and play it.
Hmm.
Or of course, when I'm streaming, it's in the dock. So those are the only times I played it docked. But
Mm.
yeah, I think for the most part of it, I've been playing it in in a handheld mode. Yeah.
Nice.
So yeah, that's it's still good. There's nothing else I can add to it than it's still good. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Like the moment to moment play. Like I so I approached this as playing it as a normal Pokemon game when I started, right? That's how it feels. Like everybody's like, "Ooh, what starter are you gonna get? Like what is gonna be the best starter?" But for one, this game doesn't have gyms, so that's a lot of pressure off. It's all about the whole catching and battling experience. Then you have your missions, which is the main storyline. Then you have requests, which is the side story stuff that you can do. Some of these requests are really fun. Like one of the early ones that you get, and I'm not gonna spoil it. I'm just gonna say what the one of the first ones is like. Is It's an evolving story that continues on as you go through the main storyline. But the first mission is like this guy standing in front of the building that you work at, and he's like, "Hey, I want a wormhole. Can you catch me a wormhole?" So you have to go out into the wild, you catch him a wormhole, and you bring it back to him, and you give it to him. And he's like, "I want a wormhole because I love Beautifly, and I want a Beautifly. So I'm gonna name him something that's very appropriate for a Beautifly." And I'm not gonna spoil the rest of it because it's actually really interesting what happens after that. But if you're a Pokemon fan, you kind of can see where I'm going with this. But it's a really nice and fun story. There are a bunch of other stuff in there. There are fun Easter eggs in there. Like for example, there's a bunch of Easter eggs that I didn't even was aware of. This is one I saw in a YouTube video. I kind of forgot who put it up. Um, but like one of the Easter eggs that he was talking about is like with Pichu. Um, like Pichu in like if you read the Pokedex entries for Pichu, is that it's in an inexperienced Pokemon, so the Pichus keep shocking themselves when they use their electric attacks, and you kind of can see that clumsy, like inexperienced Pokemon stuff when you use them to get items. Because when you throw the Pokeball and they come out of their Pokeball and they hit the tree, they kind of stumble a bit. And when they're in the wild and they attack you, once they shoot off an electric attack, they are dizzy. You see them like dizzy,
Nice.
like and then it recovers and then it attacks you again. But it takes a while for it to catch its breath, which is so gosh darn cute. Oh man, this game is so good. Ah, so good. And like just the Pokemon battles are so much better. It's like way more dynamic and like there's way more strategy to this. Not like Pokemon games in the past haven't been strategy, but it's been way too focused on the numbers game, and it's still there, but I don't think it's as important. So I don't know if you like. I don't know if like hardcore, tournament players are going to be into Pokemon Legends because for one, Pokemon Legends does not have. Um, you don't have online versus. You can only do online trading.
Hmm.
So yeah, I don't know how that crowd, the crowd that's like, oh, I want to do every gym battle, blah blah blah. I don't think that this game is for them. But I also feel like they might get more out of this game if they let go of that notion.
But there's
So
also
yeah,
enough stuff out there for them, like Sword and Shield, or can you do online
yeah,
battles in
or
Diamond and Pearl?
yeah, you can.
Yeah, so there's enough
I mean,
options out of there.
it's literally Diamond and Pearl, but in HD.
Yay.
So that's it. That's pretty much what I've been playing, and every now and then when I'm not distracted by Pokemon Legends, I'll play TFT, but that's still an ongoing thing. So
Cool.
um, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been playing.
Nice.
So with that, Sean, will you do us the honors?
I will try as I always try. So, thank you everybody for tuning in to this latest episode of Game Rivals. It's been a long one. We always appreciate your support, and you can find us on your favorite podcasting platform, Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Play, Stitcher, Overcast, you name it, we're probably there. You can also find this episode on YouTube. It always goes live at the same moment the audio version goes live. We will put the link in the description for you because it's easier. Um, you can email us gamerivalsfeedback at gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter, game underscore rivals underscore, or at Maximilian underscore X. Um, you can find us on Twitch, twitch.tv slash Maximilian underscore X or slash Sean Templar. We're also on Instagram at Game Rivals or at Maximilian underscore X. That's it, I think, basically. Feel like I'm
Hmm.
forgetting one. No.
Yeah, but we haven't posted anything on there yet, anyways.
Oh
Plus,
yeah.
we're also on the TikTok.
Oh yeah, the TikTok. Yeah, at Game Rivals. Yeah. Do you have a TikTok page?
I do not have a TikTok page. I think I'm just gonna stick to the one that we use for
Maybe you should
Game
at
Rivals.
least register it so you have the name.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah. Well, on that note, I have been and always will be Sean Templar.
And I've been always gonna be Maximilian X.
I will catch you on the next one.
Later.